What's one thing you would change if you were Noah for an episode?
You give Rogar more compliments.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome back to the Dicey D20. My name is Noah, Dungeon Master, and I'm joined here by our players. We have Tyson McKay. Tyson, give me a little bit of an in-depth look at your mental state right now. How are you feeling?
Pretty confused. I went from darkness and, evil spirit trying to attack the family I was tasked with protecting to a light, fluffy cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So, that would fuck with anyone's psyche, let alone Tyson's.
You're just in shambles right now.
Yep. Always am. But we'll figure it out.
All right. And we are also joined by Rogar Ragnak. Rogar, how's it going? You're having a little bit of a less exciting time than Tyson.
Yeah, I'm just chilling in Robbie's room. Not much to do. Try on a couple clothes. That's about it.
Okay, a little bit of cross-dressing from the Dragonborn, a little bit of plains walking from the human. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns before we begin?
How's my boy Parker?
Well, Parker's at a different house, so you don't really know how Parker's doing.
Fine.
Yeah, he's probably okay. I mean,
Probably
okay. Any other questions, comments, or concerns before we begin?
Just like everyone to know that I leveled up. So level 11, here we come.
Yeah, that's pretty important for the fans, for the listeners, and for me to know. So what went down on this level up, Tyson McKay?
I still have to roll my hit dice, but basically get a 6th level spell of my choosing at every rest, and I get to cast that whenever I want between long rests.
Okay, so you get to cast it once between long rests.
No, as many times as I want.
Well, that's what I thought you were saying. I thought you were like, yeah, I get to cast it however much I want. Like,
yes.
Damn, that sounds a little OP.
Yeah, I'm just casting Feast of Heroes over and over again.
Nice. Is that the spell that you picked, was Feast of Heroes?
No, but you'll learn.
Okay. Do you want to tell us the spell that you got or no?
Absolutely not, Noah.
Well, I just feel like the listeners might want to know. I mean, maybe make a big deal of it when you cast it for the first time. Say this is your 6th level spell.
Is my spell.
Okay.
My arms out like that. They can't hear that, but...
Would any player for 400 experience points like to give us a little rundown of what happened last session?
Fucking 400. Alright, let me give you a little rundown of what happened between the shenaniganery, clan, aranery shit. That was dumb.
Try it one more time.
We're rolling with it. So, Rogar and I heard screams from the town. We went down. There's a totem pole of dead kids, skeletons. People were crying. We interrogated some people, found out that there was some families that still had kids in the town. So we decided to split up and guard them for the night to make sure no other kids went missing that night. Parker took the easy house that was in the middle of town. Parker. Rogar and I took the far ones out of town. Rogar scared a child. No, he didn't even talk to the child, but he dressed up like a child and hung out in the kid's bedroom.
Yeah.
I made a friend, Jacob, who was then murdered as the creature came and attacked the house that I was in. I bravely fought it off and protected the family as hard as I could and lost control of my magic. And now I'm free-falling in the plane of air or something like that.
Yeah, the elemental plane of air.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good recap, Tyson. Thank you so much. Take every single one of your 400 experience points.
Level
Don't
up again.
spend them all in one place. Don't you miss those times? Level 2, level 3, just like one encounter, boom, level up.
I do. Please put me back down there.
Sure thing, whenever you're ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so you heard it here first. Tyson McKay tried to use his magic to fight off whatever creature it was that killed his very best friend, Jacob, and instead ended up hurtling himself through the elemental planes until he reached the plane of air. After a few moments of standing solidly on clouds, Tyson McKay began to freefall, as one does in different parts of the elemental plane of air. Tyson McKay free falling. That tower in front of you, though, still kilometers away, Isn't
And
it
I'm free. Dun, dun, dun. Free falling.
plus
Dun, dun, dun.
plus 200 experience points? I love it. Some good Tom Petty there. Yeah, the Citadel, the large tower, which was a few kilometers away from you, which you can see because it's obviously very open, very airy, very expansive plane of existence, is also in a state of free fall in front of you. But Tyson McKay, having no wings or ability to fly, you are free falling through this plane.
I have those shoes that I got. Oh, it's boots of levitation, but I'm probably not proficient with them, so. Oh, and it only floats me up 20 feet, so how does that work when there's no ground? But,
It wouldn't work, no.
alright, well, I guess I just planes walk back, so I concentrate for the 30 seconds.
All right, so Tyson McKay concentrating hard as he free falls. I mean, there's no ground in sight, right? We spend the 30 seconds required, and you are teleported back to the material plane, not but a few feet from where you left moments ago.
Do
Tyson
I
McKay,
fall
do you fall?
onto the ground, or do I just teleport there?
I mean, you teleport there. You stumble a little bit, I'd imagine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're going from this state of free falling to a very solid ground. Yeah, so tumbling for a few seconds, and then righting yourself upright, Tyson McKay, it looks like it's been no more than a few moments since you left the material plane.
I run to the door.
Okay, so Tyson McKay, you run to the door. On the porch and up the steps to the main door, which is ajar, you see pools and spatters of blood.
What have you done, Noah?
Your horse is named Noah, and yeah,
It's with Parker.
yeah, it is with Parker. You're correct. What horse are you riding, by the way?
I am riding Pedal.
Good. I just wanted you to remember her name. Petal and Jacob's horse both have their necks slit, and they're lying on the ground.
Pedal? You okay, girl?
No, she's very much not okay. Very much dead.
Well,
Try riding her.
I must now burn this house so no one can know my failure.
Sorry, the failure is the horse dying, not even the family or Jacob.
Oh, you're right, Jacob. I must pull him out before I do it. I go inside.
All right, so you head inside, just pushing open that wooden door just a few more feet, and there are large pools and almost like bodies being dragged out of the house, stains that are linear of blood, where bodies would have been dragged outside.
Probably nothing.
You failed your mission.
Tyson McKay, you are a few feet away from the stairs, heading up towards the bedroom.
Do I see any bodies or anything?
You see no bodies, no, just more blood, some of it pooling near the bottom of the steps.
Okay, well, let's go upstairs. I prepare Fireball, because fuck it. I don't think anyone's there anymore.
So you've prepared Fireball, and you continue to head up the steps. Walking towards the parents' bedroom, what would you like to do?
I do a cool cartwheel into the bedroom and extend my hand and look.
Sorry, you're doing a cartwheel into the bedroom?
Like a cool roll into the bedroom.
Can I get an acrobatics check on that?
Yes.
There's a lot of blood on the ground. It's pretty slippery.
9.
I mean, yeah, rolling isn't hard. A cartwheel would have been harder. Yeah, you roll into the room. You know, your hand outstretched, ready to blast anything with Fireball, but yeah, now you just got blood all over your clothes. So.
It won't be able to sense me coming.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Good.
Do I see anything?
Inside the bedroom, no, you do not see anything. You look to your right, and you see that the closet doors are very much ajar, and clothes, ripped to shreds, kind of line the floor.
Probably nothing.
What would you like to do?
I search the upper part of the house for anyone.
Okay, so you search the house for any living creature and find none. It looks like both parents and child have disappeared.
Don't say that. They could have just gone next door for some milk.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could have.
That's the story we're going with.
I love Tyson exploring scary houses, just like, oh, that's not a big deal. Oh, that's okay, it's not a big deal. Oh, you know what? They're probably just next door. It's just like lying to yourself.
They're dead. They're dead.
Shut up, Rogar. I do have to make this look like more of a fight, otherwise people are gonna call me a bitch.
Okay, so now you're staging the scene of the crime.
Push a chair over,
Okay.
flip the bed,
Alright.
tear the door off its hinges.
Okay, I'm gonna need a strength check for that. You're tearing it off its hinges.
3.
Yeah, you do not do so. You try to rip the door off its hinges, but it won't budge. Very solid, sturdy construction.
Alright, I look around and I say, that's enough.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Well, now covered in their blood, walk down the stairs, open the door,
Yep.
light a match.
Do you have matches, or you're lighting a torch, or are you just using a spell for flames?
Yeah, I conjure flame in my hand, produce flame.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're gonna burn the house down.
no one can know, Sam.
Why'd you flip the chair and shit?
You're
It's all
why
gonna
did I do
burn
that?
anyways.
Fine. I don't even know where Rogar is. Please.
I'm at the woods.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know where the house is. I'm in the middle of the woods. Jacob took me here. I know I have no horse, Sab. What do you want me to do?
I don't know, start walking in a direction.
Safest thing I could do, you're right. Alright, well, is there a path towards town?
There is indeed a path towards town, Tyson, but right now you've got your hand with produced flame and you're a few steps away from the house, and you see bits of blood spattered on the ground, and they lead towards the forest.
Nothing ever has gone wrong with following blood trails. Let's go.
Sorry, are you leaving the house intact, or are you lighting it up? What's going on here?
You're giving me this choice?
I typically give you choices. Is that not correct?
Tell you what, Noah. If I go out there and I find at least one live person, I'll leave the house intact. If not, I'm coming back and I'm burning this bitch down.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
So
sorry,
now it's-
you're...
Decision's in your hand now, Noah. Let someone live or don't.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it my decision. I mean, what's happened has happened.
No, don't. You can't weasel your way out of this. Let's go.
I'm not weaseling my way out of anything. Are you following the blood, or are you going back to town?
I follow the blood, Noah. You know me.
Okay, sounds good. So, Tyson McKay, you begin to follow the blood trail out towards the kind of tree line, very close to the house here, and you follow it into the woods. Are you still producing flame? Are you extinguishing that? What's going on here?
No, I keep it going.
Nice, yeah, you want to use that to find the next blood spatters, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You follow the blood spatters on the ground, some of them just little tiny drops of blood on leaves, and the path, or I should say the trail of blood, becomes a little bit harder to follow the deeper you get in, less blood dripping over time. I'm going to need you to roll me a survival check to see what your tracking abilities are like.
Can I also use the heat of the blood to track it as well?
I mean, I guess the blood would still be somewhat warmer than the environment, or
Doesn't matter. 18.
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, you continue to follow the blood trail pretty expertly. The blood kind of shimmers and appears black and shiny under the light of your produced flame.
Yum.
So, Tyson, you've been walking in the woods for about 5 minutes now, still following the blood trail. Is there anything else that you'd like to do, or just continue to follow the trail?
You know what? I need a buddy.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Everybody's
conjure
dead.
Elemental.
What kind of elemental are you going to conjure?
Fire.
When he walks, he sets things ablaze, right?
Yes.
The
I'm
whole
hoping
forest
to see
is
it.
on fire.
Okay. Alright, so you conjure an elemental of the fire variety, and it is now standing next to you. Little bits of twigs, wood, and leaves underfoot, catching flame.
My new buddy. He can keep the way lit and help me if I get into trouble.
Okay, sounds good. Tyson, do you want to continue following the blood trail?
Noah, I want to continue following the blood trail.
Just making sure. So you follow it for another 5 minutes through the woods, and the trail becomes even harder to pick up now. I'm going to need one last survival check from you, please.
Oh, baby. 19.
Awesome. So you very expertly follow the trail for the next few minutes until eventually you come across large bits of blood pooling at your feet.
Oh god.
I found it.
What would you like to do?
Let's pooling at my feet. So I look up, obviously.
Okay, so looking up in front of you, and the dancing flames of your conjure elemental reveal the body of Jacob. It is currently hung in one of the trees. Its his organs and intestines spilling out of his stomach, which looks like it's been sliced from one side to the other.
What's he hanging by?
His neck.
Like on a rope?
Correct.
Sew me back!
I get the flame guy to swat at the rope to try and cut it or burn it. Whatever.
Yeah. So the flame guy kind of climbs the tree a little bit, and then you're correct. He burns the rope so that Jacob falls to the ground. So Jacob falls forward into these pools of blood at the base of this tree and falls on his front, his organs splaying out on either side on the ground.
Say it's not your fault, Jacob. No one just hates when other people voice characters.
Plus 500 experience points.
I inspect the body for any abusive trauma or sexual trauma.
Okay, let's start with abusive trauma. So it looks like Jacob was dead before he was hung. This you can tell because there's not as much discoloration at the neck. If you hang someone while they're alive, you'll find lots of discoloration around the neck if they've been strangled, but you don't find much here, which suggests that whoever left him here was doing it just for shock and awe.
Uh-oh.
So in addition to being hung, it looks like he has claw marks all over his body from being carried, and then you also find that his stomach, where it's been sliced open, was clearly not done with any claw or any rudimentary tool. It looks like it was sliced very finely across his stomach, and looks like that was done while he was still alive.
Oh god.
Okay. And sexual trauma?
Right, yeah, I forgot you said sexual trauma. When you say sexual trauma, what are you looking for at Tyson McKay?
Penetration.
Plus 100 experience points. No, you don't find any sexual trauma.
Okay. Don't want anyone defiling my Jacob.
Well, he's been defiled, but just in an abusive way, not in a sexual way.
Who hasn't?
I don't know where you want me to go with this.
Alright, well, there's no other bodies around.
You look up in other trees and in and around this area? No, there are no other bodies here.
Alright, Jacob, come on, we'll take you back home.
How are you going to do that?
I just grab him by the arms and start dragging.
Okay, and you're dragging back the way you came, or you're going to diagonally cut it so that you head back towards the direction of town?
Deeper into the forest we go.
Holy shit.
Sorry, so you're not going back to town, you're dragging his body deeper into the forest?
Does that not seem like a good idea?
No one can find out.
No.
No one can know. I let absolutely everyone die.
I must hide everyone. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back to town, I guess. Gotta face the music someday, right?
Right, correct. Okay, so you're gonna drag his body back towards town.
Yeah.
Okay, but you got your fire elemental boy there watching over you, so I feel like you're fairly safe.
I'm not safe at all, it sounds like.
Okay, so Tyson McKay, you make your way back through the woods. It's about 30 minutes of hard work to kind of drag Jacob's body through the woods, and plus, all of his organs spilling out, getting caught on branches and stuff like that obviously doesn't help.
I just yank harder.
Okay, so, small intestine and large intestine literally being ripped here apart. You drag Jacob through the woods.
Wow,
and
he's so light now.
And you eventually reach town. So you walk out from the tree line carrying, or dragging, I should say, Jacob behind you until you finally make it, to within some of the more well-lit areas of the main street of Traverse. And now you can do whatever it is you'd like to do.
Where's Parker's house?
Parker's house is 2 buildings away from you on the right-hand side of the street.
I go towards it.
You still dragging Jacob, or are you leaving him there?
I'm never leaving Jacob behind.
Okay, so you drag Jacob to the house, and then what are you doing now?
Knocking on the door.
Alright, so you knock on the door, and you hear movement upstairs. The door opens, narrowly at first, and there is the point of a sword, kind of just, the tip of which extruding from the small gap in the doorway. And then the door swings all the way open, and Parker looks at you and sees that you're covered in blood and says, "My God, what happened?"
Well, Parker, I got some good news and I got some bad news.
Okay, so Parker, sticks his neck out of the door, kind of like looks either way, sees the body of Jacob, and he goes, "Oh my. Well, quick, come inside."
I dragged Jacob up the stairs inside.
He says, no, stop. What are you doing? Don't bring him in here.
No man left behind, Jacob. Parker?
So Parker looks at you and says, "This man is dead."
He is alive in my heart.
I was going to say roll me a deception check, and then you said "in my heart," and I have nothing to challenge you on this. Because I truly believe that Tyson McKay thinks he's alive in his heart. So Parker looks to you, and he says, "You can't bring him in here. Look, his insides are falling out."
Now they're outsides.
Okay, so the husband and wife come down the stairs, their child in their arms. They look at you, Tyson McKay, and then look at Jacob on the ground. They say, "My God." And the woman turns towards the hearth and throws up.
Alright, I can see Jacob's not wanted here.
So Parker says, "I'll be with you both in a moment." And he kind of opens the door all the way, steps outside, and then closes it firmly behind him, planting himself in between you and the doorway. He says, "Tyson, what happened?"
Well, I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Man, every sentence you say sounds like you're lying. "Well, I was doing exactly what I was told in the way I was told to do it, when out of nowhere something happened that was entirely not my fault. I then reacted as anyone would, and tried my best, but yet still, it didn't go the way I wanted."
Wow, Noah summed it up perfectly, Parker. Listen to him.
Yeah, so Parker is indeed going to ask you what happened. So you were doing exactly as you were told.
I was watching the family and guarding the door, window, whatever it's called. Then I heard noises, and I hid the family, and then Jacob came up to the room bleeding, and he died. So naturally, I prepared myself, and I fought a creature, and I fought it off pretty good, Parker. You would have been proud.
So you saw the creature?
I more than saw it, Parker. I kicked its ass from here to halfway to the forest.
Roll me a fucking deception check, dude.
I heard it a lot, didn't I?
I think you did 8 damage.
No, I did 2 hits on it, okay? Did like
Okay, so-
22 damage, maybe.
Sorry, you did 22 damage.
Also, my deception is a 7.
Okay. So he looks to you and he says, "Right. Okay. And what happened to the family?"
Well, here's the thing. So I said I had good news, and the good news was I found Jacob, and I point to Jacob.
Parker
Bad
looks
news
to you and he says, "Well done."
I say, the bad news is I couldn't find the family.
So what? The family just disappeared? You were fighting this creature and then it got them and you had no way to stop it?
Well, here's the thing, Parker. I lost control of my magic, and I was teleported somewhere.
Goodness. The family, there's no chance they're alive, is there?
Believe in something, Parker.
What show is that?
I found Jacob. We can do anything.
God damn it, man. Believe in something. What's that from? I don't even know.
It's from
Okay.
Tyson.
So Parker looks to you and he says, "We need to tell Rogar." And then you can give him the description of the beast that you saw.
Alright. I guess we can go tell Rogar how one of us messed up.
So Parker opens the door a little bit, then thinking better of it, he shuts the door and he says, "Can you move that body somewhere else so they won't see it?"
Fine. I start dragging Jacob over to Noah, and I toss him onto Noah's back.
Okay, so the horse is very concerned. But Parker opens the door and ushers the family towards him. He says, "Come with us. You're not safe on your own."
You can ride Noah.
The family follows, and Parker says, "I need you to take me to the woods' home. Can you do that?"
Yes.
And the man not talking. He's not talking to you. He's talking to the family. You went to the Warrens. Rogar is at the Woods' place. So the husband looks to Parker and he says, I can lead you. Let's just get some torches so we can see." So Parker pulls out a torch, and using some flint and steel, he lights it, and then uses that torch to light another torch.
I pull out my elemental that was right beside me the whole time.
Okay. So the family looks very scared at the look of the elemental. And then the man begins to lead you guys down the footpath towards the woods' home. There are the sounds of the night, which kind of encompass you guys, the sounds of crickets in the grasses.
Squeak at the
The
week.
sounds of all... plus 200 experience points. The sounds of all the different creatures and critters out in the nighttime. And eventually, kind of falling back from the trees, you guys come across the woods' house in the very small clearing. It is a very small home, and there is just small puffs of smoke coming from the fireplace. Or the chimney, I should say.
We get high in here.
No, you're Rogar again. Take a Trust me, I made sure of it.
Okay, so Parker marches up to the door and knocks on it quite authoritatively. And Rogar, you hear the door knock, and you may do as you wish.
I go answer the door.
Alright, so you answer the door.
With my weapon out.
Okay, and you have your weapon in your hand. And you see Parker standing there. Behind him looks a very scared family, and then in the very back of the group, next to a fire elemental, is Tyson McKay, covered in blood.
I stand out from behind my elemental and I wave.
We don't take visitors.
Parker looks to you, Rogar, and he says, "There's been a development. Quick, let's get inside."
Okay, I open the door.
Okay,
I
so...
say everyone's allowed in except for the fire elemental.
Okay, that's wise, probably. The very scared family walks towards the doorway. Parker ushers them inside, and then enters and then turns around looking at Tyson McKay, still covered in blood, still right next to the elemental.
Okay, guy, I'm gonna just let you go now. I'll miss you. Thanks for the company, and you're my second best friend next to Jacob.
So are you just leaving him there, or are you quelling the magic?
I poof him away.
Okay, sounds good. You poof him away. So the fire elemental disappears, and Tyson McKay, you are free to do as you wish.
I storm up the stairs angrily, because I have lost 2 of my friends tonight.
Okay, so Tyson McKay enters, and the families, all huddled together, kind of look horrified at the amount of blood which is just covered Tyson McKay.
Oh,
I imagine that, you got blood on your hands, you're dragging this body, you, take a break, you, wipe your forehead with your hands, you, continue to drag the body.
They should be scared. After what I've seen?
They should be, you're correct. So Parker closes the door, and then turns towards Rogar and says, "Tyson, tell him what you told me."
Well, Parker was doing what he was told, guarding the family.
Yes, I know this.
Those are the Warrens, actually, in the corner there. I protected them fine.
Okay, so the family looks to you and says, "We're the Dennisons."
Shut up!
We're not... Okay, the man is very quiet. The woman is white as a sheet, and the child begins to cry.
So that might not have been the truth, Rogar.
Tyson, where's your family?
How did you know?
I'm surprised Tyson didn't take that opportunity to do a setup. Tyson's family is dead. Tyson, where's your family? Dead.
I explain the situation. I say, fighting the monster, weirdly lost control of my powers, and I did that thing that we both know that I can do. I nudge him.
Okay, but not my head.
And then when I came back, honestly, Rogar, it was like 30 seconds. I came back and they were dead. Or gone, at least.
Oh, which one is it? Dead or gone?
I mean, both.
You could confirm they're dead?
No, I can't confirm, but there's a lot of blood in there. Thought about burning the house down so you guys couldn't tell, but luckily for you, I didn't.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so one of the husbands looks to you and says, "You're the ones they sent as monster hunters?"
I'll burn this house down if you don't behave.
Okay, so the man stays quiet yet again, and then looks to Rogar.
the man does?
Yeah, they're all looking at you.
Oh, okay. Well, Tyson, your family still may be alive out there, so...
They're not. I saw my mom get her head cut off. There we go.
Not your family. The family you're supposed to watch over. They still may be alive out there, so we should probably go look for them or find any clues to see if they're still alive.
This seems like a trap, Rogar. What if we gotta leave this family, both these families, with the last two children in the village?
Well, someone could stay here and watch over them while we go look. Okay, Parker and I can go look while you... Alright. I don't know if I trust Tyson to watch over a family.
I have the guy that was
plus 300
off.
experience points for Rogar Ragnak there.
I'll ask Parker what he would like to do.
So Parker looks to you, Rogar, and he says, I think you're right. If there's any chance that those families are still alive, we owe it to them to head out and try and find them.
Okay, so me and Tyson will head out to find them, and you stay watching the family.
So Parker looks to you and he says, what if it got past Tyson? I don't know. What if it could get past me? What if I'm not strong enough?
Yeah, you're right. He's definitely not strong enough. If it got past me.
Yeah, that's true.
I like you shit on Parker.
I don't know what to do. It's a sticky situation.
Because I'm covered in blood.
Exactly.
Do you want me just to dress up in kids' clothes and...
Sure.
How is that going to help?
Tyson,
I'd say it would help, no?
No, you didn't, but I just... Yeah, I failed to see the point.
I don't know, what do you want to do? Should we just, like, put the kids on the front porch and say, come get them?
No.
They're the last kids. If we just get rid of them, then the thing will stop coming back.
Yeah, or you could just put up flyers all around the town saying auction for children tomorrow, and then tomorrow, you just start the bidding. Do I hear $1 over here? I hear $1. $2. Do I hear $2? $7. Do I hear $7? $8 from the large monster in the back.
That's him. Get him.
Get him.
So, Rogar, as far as we know, it only hunts one family per night, right?
Correct.
So, do you think, what are the odds it attacks again?
Probably not that high.
Well, these families are together. I don't know if we should bring them into town with us and then station them up somewhere safer in the middle of town. It's a bit more light. And then maybe we go hunting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we repeat the plan to the family and Parker. Well, Parker was probably listening, but eavesdropping little fuck.
Yeah, I mean, Parker's there, so he is listening.
Alright, yeah, so we explain the plan to everyone. And then, let's get them out of this house.
Okay, so bearing torches and keeping their families close to them, the men, their wives, and children follow you guys into town. It's a pretty eerie walk at night through the woods, but then you reach the main street of Traverse pretty quickly. And what would you like to do from here?
We should probably go to the Thompson.
Thompson.
All right.
Okay.
So you guys head to Thompson's house. You've been there before. You guys trying to open the door? Are you knocking on the door? What are we doing?
Let me in! Let me in!
Okay, so you're knocking and asking to be let in?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, so you knock on the door, and pretty quickly, Thompson comes down. You can see he's got what looks to be an axe in hand through the glass in the door, but he sees it's you guys, opens the door, and says, quick, come in, come in.
We let everyone in, and then we explain the situation to him.
So he nods and he says, that's too bad about the Warrens. They were good folk.
They're still alive. We'll find them.
Looking up at the night sky, Thompson says, I fear you don't have too long.
Alright, we need some horses, quick.
Well,
So
I got my horse.
I need a horse, quick.
The Parker has a horse, Noah, and then there is another horse stationed beside Noah. It looks like Thompson's own horse. He says, here, you can have mine. Ride quick, friends.
Perfect. I jump on
Let's go!
Thompson's horse, and I stare at Jacob on Noah's horse, and I laugh. No, I don't laugh, but I go, oh no. I take Jacob off Noah's, and I put him on the ground.
So Parker looks at all the blood which is currently on the saddle. He grabs a cloth from the saddlebag and wipes it down to the best visibility, and then looks at you and just shakes his head.
How dare you treat Noah with such respect?
Okay, Parker mounts up on his horse and then says, so where are we starting our hunt?
The house seems like a smart idea.
So he nods and then says, well, you've been there. You lead the way.
I lead on.
Onwards.
Okay, so galloping this time on horses, moving pretty quickly, I'd imagine. It takes no more than a couple of minutes for you guys at like a hard gallop, a real riding, because you guys are riding fast now, to make your way to the Warrens' house. The front door is ajar, and the black, oily, and slick blood seems to be spattered and covering almost every surface as you approach the house.
I say, welcome to the Warrens.
Parker says, did you see which way it went?
Well, I point in the direction that the blood splatters went. I say, but it went invisible when I hit it with a few attacks.
So Parker looks to you, Rogar, and he says, so do we dismount, follow the blood?
I think that would be best.
Parker dismounts from his horse, tying it up at the house, and then he actually draws his broadsword out from his back and prepares himself to walk into the woods.
Alright.
I shall do the same.
Alright.
Him.
So who's leading here?
Tyson.
Alright.
It does make sense.
I know the way.
Yes.
Okay, so Parker and Rogar are following behind Tyson as I suppose you're leading their way through the woods.
Yeah.
For a fair bit of time, it's actually quite easy. I mean, you were just covering this trail yourself. And so you make it quite quickly to the spot where you found Jacob. From there, you haven't gone any further, so you guys are going to have to do either perception to look for bodies, blood, signs of someone being there, or survival to see if you can follow the blood trail.
Alright, I'm gonna try a survival check to find more blood.
Sounds good. Roll me a d20.
A not nat 20.
Nice. So, looking around, you quickly pick up the trail again, which looks like it's heading in a mostly southeastern direction.
Quickly, this way.
Alright, so the team is following behind Tyson McKay, and Tyson, the blood trail becomes very thin again, and eventually leads you to a clearing in the trees.
Can I perception check?
Sure. It looks like this clearing in the trees was actually man-made. So it looks like there were large trees felled in this area, and some of their root structures actually brought up from the ground.
Does the blood continue?
The blood continues straight through this clearing.
Well, we might as well follow it.
Yeah.
So you continue to follow the blood trail through the clearing, and it eventually leads into more thick and woody areas. What would you like to do?
I'm sick of the forest.
Burn it.
I guess we gotta just keep following the blood. It's our only hope to find them alive.
So you continue on your way through the forest. The trees here, much thicker and closer together. This forest, or this bit of forest here, seems much older than the forest behind you and closer to town, where there have been years of obviously felling the trees and then new trees growing. Here it looks like more untouched grove.
Alright, we should probably ready ourselves. We'll get any weapon you need out.
Yeah, I'll pull my weapon out. Wait, can I see if Parker's still with us?
Yeah, you look and Parker is indeed still with you.
Wait, can I see if Rogar is still with us?
Yeah, yes, you look and Rogar is indeed still with you.
Now, Parker, you check and see if I'm still with us.
You're not.
Oh, God.
Okay, so continuing on into the thick of the woods, eventually you reach a pretty rocky and tumultuous terrain. Areas where large bits of roots kind of stick up in all directions from the soil, kind of grown over granite or gray rocks, until eventually you reach the mouth of an open cave where there appear to be bones scattered about and blood trails following inside.
We found you!
Knock, knock. Johnny's home.
Are you saying either of those things, or?
Yes.
It's Johnny.
This is a cave. Can we see the end of it, or is it just like an open cave?
It's an open cave. There's a fair bit of like heavy, solid rock that makes up the ceiling. It's a fairly steep drop into the entrance. It's quite wide, a hole here, so it's about 6 foot in terms of its radius. So it's quite wide, but it looks like it like very drastically slopes inwards. So Like you'd almost be sliding into it.
Seems safe.
Let's go.
You first, Parker.
So Parker looks to you, Tyson McKay, and he says, I'll go. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Can I have perception check for like any traps before we go in?
Sure, go for it.
That's a 15.
Okay, yeah, the entrance looks clear of traps.
It's perfectly safe, Parker. Have fun.
I'll walk right beside Parker.
So Parker, kind of using his hand to hold on to the ledge of the opening of this cave, then lets go, and you hear the scraping on rock sound of his armor as he slides into the hole. A few moments pass, and there's silence, until eventually you hear a whispered voice saying, "It's clear. Come on down."
Okay, I go down.
Okay, so Rogar, you too have the sound of metal scraping against stone as you enter the cave.
My new armor.
Plus 100 experience points. And eventually you reach the bottom, where you see Parker, his sword, kind of outstretched before him. As he looks down the narrow hallway, his eyes never leaving it, as he kind of flicks his eyes towards you and says, "All right, you're good. Stand guard."
Yes, sir.
Why is your initiative telling you what to do?
Tyson, you're clear. Come down.
I perception check around the cave.
Okay.
Do I see anything?
Well, you didn't roll anything, so...
19?
Yeah, so around the entrance to the cave, it looks like there's very small bones scattered about, and even bits of cloth, which seem like they've become torn or detached from clothing. But other than that, you do not see any other things of interest.
Yabba dabba doo, let's go down.
Okay, so Tyson McKay, your entrance is a lot stealthier than anyone else's, as you are not wearing super heavy armor.
Oh, thought it was just because I was better.
Lame.
So you slide down to the bottom and reach the entrance to the tunnel system beyond the mouth of the cave. It is quite dark in here, and Tyson McKay has heat vision, but Parker and Rogar, you guys, it's pitch black in this cave.
Can I light up me torch?
You can, sir. So you light up a torch, and then, the teams kind of all huddle together, and Parker says, "What's our plan? Who's going to go first?"
I think you know who's going first, Parker.
So Parker looks to you.
Initiation!
So Parker looks to you, Rogar, and he says, "Sir, would you have me go first?"
Chug, 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 chug.
I'll tell him I'll go first.
Okay, so Rogar Ragnak is going first. Okay, so gentlemen, what you see before you is a very narrow corridor. It's tall, but very, very thin, and it seems to gently slope off to the right, so that you can only really see about 20 feet of tunnel in front of you with your torch lit.
Okay. I'm gonna keep perception checking for traps.
Okay, how often would you like to do that?
Every, let's say, like 10 feet.
Okay, sounds good. So your first perception check, please. Can you roll me d20?
Say 17.
Okay, nice. So the immediate 10 feet in front of you does not look to be trapped in any kind of way.
Okay.
And as you guys walk your first 10 feet in, the air in this cave smells very foul.
Smells like home.
You don't have a home.
It smells like the orphanage.
Smells like school.
So what would you like to do, adventurers?
Well, I'd let Rogar look for another trap. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll keep walking.
Alright, so you can roll me d20
Ooh,
for
nat
perception.
20, baby.
Nice. You see no traps, but you're now into the gentle curve to the right of this tunnel. And as you make it just to the bend in the tunnel, looking further on, you do see very dim bits of light at the end of the tunnel.
He's in there.
Daddy's home.
Okay, we'll sneak. We stealthy about it.
Okay, so are you keeping your torch lit, or are you dousing it?
Should I douse it, Tyson?
I mean, if you want to be stealthy, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll douse it.
So you get rid of your torch, and put it back in your bag. Good to use later, right? I mean, reusable torches, good for the environment. And you guys are stealthily heading towards the exit of the cave here.
Yeah.
I stay farther behind them.
So I'm going to need stealth checks from Tyson McKay and Rogar Ragnak as you guys reach the 10-foot mark.
That's a 19.
Nice.
10?
Parker's got a 17 plus his dexterity, but he's in heavy armor, so he's going to be rolling at disadvantage for stealth. So are you, Rogar Ragnak.
That is a 12.
Okay. So that was your first stealth check for halfway down the hall. You can see now that you're very much closer to the bright light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to need one more stealth check from all of you.
I'm going to actually hold back for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so my lowest one is a 13.
So 11 was Parker's lowest one. And Tyson McKay, you're kind of hanging out behind at the bend.
Just watching behind us.
Okay. Rogar Ragnak and Parker come to near the end of the hallway, and there's just another gentle bend here, a turn left, which you guys will have to make in order to see what's forward.
Can I peek around the corner to see?
Sure. You can roll me a perception check if you'd like.
Okay. Ooh, another nat 20.
Damn.
Nice. So you look around the corner, and with your expert perception, you see quite a large opening, which turns into a very large cavern. On the right-hand side of the walls, the most probably interesting thing that you'll notice is 5 or even perhaps 6 ogres, which are chained to the wall, their hands above their heads, and their legs chained and bolted into the rock.
What the fuck? It's a sex dungeon.
You also see blood, which is on the cave floor, near the entrance to where the cave sort of opens up. But because of your positioning, you can't see much else of the cave on the left-hand side. You'd have to get closer, right to the mouth of it, to see all that's inside the cave.
Okay, we'll keep sneaking then.
Okay, so you're moving forward to the opening?
Yeah.
Moving closer to the opening, I'm going to need a stealth check from both you and from your boy.
Yeah.
Where 5 is the lowest roll.
I'll move up a sneak is 10 feet as well.
Okay, so you're moving just to the bend.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I got a 11.
Okay, 11. And 5 for Parker, and 10 for Tyson. Okay. So you make it to the very entrance, and you get a brief split second of a view of the entirety of the cave, Rogar Ragnak. So along the right-hand side, there are indeed 6 ogres chained to the wall, bolted and shackled. At the very far end, you see what looks to be an altar made of stone, and it looks like there are humanoids or people which are lying on top of that altar. Standing above them and kind of looming over top is that greenish blue skin tone of the creature, which Tyson McKay saw. Its eyes bright yellow and kind of only lit up by these very dim bowls of fire and torches which are scattered about the lair. On the left-hand side, there are what looks to be piles of certain bones, as well as loot of various forms loot in various forms, right? It's like saddles, wheels of carts, as well as other trophy items. The eyes, glowing and yellow, look up towards the entrance of the cave, and even from this distance you can see somewhat of a sinister smile, before all of a sudden, all around you, darkness envelops the group.
Even me?
Correct, a pitch black that no one can see through. And this is where we are going to end things for today.
Oh my god. Starting off next episode in a battle, eh?
You know it. Well, I just want to say
Let's
congratulations
go.
First and foremost. You guys found the lair. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
The lair? Is that the name?
Yeah, I'm going to hand you guys each 1,000 experience points for finding the lair
Whoa.
of the creature.
Oh, we're so close to leveling up.
Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Do your outro, Noah.
No.
Dance, Michael, dance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, whether it was morning, evening, noon, or night, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the Dicey D20. This is your DM signing out. Until next time.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. You're the real heroes. You're the reason Sab gets to eat every week.
God, I haven't ate dinner yet.